Hi guys, Jimmy here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe and had a great weekend. So it's finally here. My movie room is 95% complete. So I'm going to show you where I am in terms of my movie room. I'm really happy with it. I never thought since I started collecting movies that I would actually have a room just for my movies. If you had said that to me 20 years ago, I'd have went, no chance. But I'm very fortunate. And yeah, I know how lucky I am to actually have this room just for movies. It's absolutely insane. I'm going to show you around it. As we're going around the room, I'm going to show you little inserts or overlays of what it was like before, so you can get an idea of what it was like before. It was very dark. It was very damp. I can't believe I put my movies down there at one point. I just really can't believe that. I'm going to pull that from an old vlog. You know, there was no daylight down here. There was literally one light above my head here that was lighting up the whole room. It's chalk and cheese. It really is just chalk and cheese. There's a few little bits that still need doing, like on the main wall that you'll see where the window is. I've not put the plastic trim on there yet. I'm going to be doing that shortly. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. As you've seen from the background, I've been doing my vlogs down here now for the past couple of months, and it's just, it feels, smells, looks completely different compared to what it was. So I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then at the end of it, I'm going to give you the budget of what I've spent on this room. So let's roll to part two, where you're actually going to see the room for the first time. Be gentle with the comments. No, listen, I'm over the moon with it. Absolutely over the moon with it. Yeah, so let me take you around the room, and then at the end of it, we'll go on to the costs. Okay guys, so I'm going to start this vlog going down into the cellar or the basement, depending on which friend you like to use. I'm going to flip around straight away, and then I've got Terence Hill and Bud Spencer poster, and that's for the film God Forgives, I Don't. My wife did translate the Thai version, but I can't remember what it is. And then on the other side, I've got Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 3D there. So yeah, that was a poster I got in Thailand. I think it was about 300 baht that was. So that wasn't too bad. That was like £6, I think it was. Go around then into Pearl, which come from the Etsy set. And then you will see lots of these posters. I got a job lot off eBay. I think it was like 40 of them, or 50 of them for like £39. Got the Bose speaker there. I'll explain a bit more about it later. Got a wire hanging down that I haven't sorted out yet. And then there's my Bruce Lee poster. That was a present to myself. I will leave a little cutaway for the shop that I got this on in Thailand. And that's the classic movie poster shop. They do export. And when you go to the shop, you will be amazed if you're ever that way with the posters that they have. Then here I've got the art cards from the second sight edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then below here, old kitchen unit that I've kept. And I've got my Steelbooks here. They're double depth, but I know roughly that the top shelves and the second shelf are all sequels, prequels and whatever. And then the bottom shelf is just films, standalone films, one-off films. So yeah, that's not too bad. I've got another one of these, but I didn't want to double stack it because I may put a TV there in the future. I'm not sure yet. And then we go a little long here. Then we've got a poster. And then down below, the lungs of the basement. This is the dehumidifier. So I've got this on eBay, £90 second hand. And to give you some idea, when I first started renovating the basement, I was emptying this 3 times a day. Now it's once every week, or let me just see. So I did that a week ago, and it's not even, well, it's quarter full. So now it's every 10 days or so. So it's not too bad. I've got a beam going across here. Haven't really decided what I'm going to do on that one. So I've just put some magnets that I got in Thailand for the time being, but that's part of the to-do list. I'm about 90% done here, actually, to be honest with you. But yeah, so that was the dehumidifier that I got. Now, when I was plastering the basement, I've deliberately kept these walls all unfinished. My guy said to me, I can plaster these up for you. I said, no, I want to left the brickwork. And for the reason for that is it quite simply reminds me of Dawn of the Dead when they're in the silo. I like this unfinished look. I'm happy with that. You will see pipe work going across. The mains water pipe there and the main electricity pipe there. It was too expensive to justify getting those moved into the ceiling. It cost-wise, no way. I'm quite happy seeing it. It doesn't bother me. I like that kind of unfinished look. Then I've got this cabinet here. My neighbour gave me this record cabinet, or record unit, sorry. I was more than happy with that, so I've put all my vinyls there, and I've got my projector when I finally get that sorted out. And what you will notice is as you go around, this is all on wheels. And the reason for that, let me just see if I can move it around, is that I did not want any warm surfaces. The reason why everything's on wheels, basically. I've got this nice poster in a charity shop, £10, included the frame, Superfly. So I was more than happy with that when I saw it. And then this is one of the main walls. Let me see if I can just zoom in on that one. There you go. So this is the main, this was the main wall that was causing the problem. Okay. So there was no light. So you can see here, I've now got daylight coming through. And for this vlog, I actually didn't clean that. So that's sawdust. Now what happened was I had a window replaced. They put one in. It wasn't at the right angle, so water was pooling there, and they didn't put an air vent in for me. So I had to get them back, get them to sort out the angle, then put an air vent in. And they put one air vent in that looks like that. And the holes were so small, there was no air coming through it at all. So the place still didn't smell brilliantly. So what I had to do was get a vent from B&Q and drill about 20 holes from the outside. And I know there's air coming through now because it's still blowing the sawdust through, even though I've cleaned that the other day. But I wanted to hold on to it just to show you now the air coming in, because there was no air at all. And when I was trying to dry out the basement, there was no fresh air. No matter how many windows I left open upstairs and the doorway upstairs here, it just wasn't working. So that led me to a bit of a problem where I've had to repaint some of the wall because the layers of paint that I put on didn't take properly, even though I let it dry for about a month. But once I put those air holes in, it's just changed dramatically. Now I've got an old TV stand there that I'm using for my Lego bits. There's a poster that I got from Thailand, and there's one that I got as well. And then you've got the Lego movie, Everything is Awesome. And then we've got Jaws little Jaws little set there. And then as you go around, you'll see more of these posters that I got on eBay. There was the Joker. I got that from Thailand when I was on holiday. Another Joker. And then Chuck Norris here. Yeah, Chuck Norris. Do you know what? I was gonna replace that poster, but then obviously, unfortunately, Chuck Norris passed away. So that poster is now going to be a permanent poster down here. Another Evil Dead and Akira. Yeah, that's the gas. That's the gas meter. Boxing that in. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've still got a few bits to do up there and there. Gives you some idea. I've still got wires that I've got to reroute and do things like that. But that doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. But I might box that in. I'm not sure yet. But to be honest with you, it doesn't bother me. It gives me that warehouse feel. And I'm quite happy with that warehouse feel, to be honest with you. Then I've got some Lego bits there. But honestly, I've cut back on my Lego so much now. Just not buying it at all. Just not buying it at all. Then we go around. Again, another poster there. As he says, moving stuff around. Front Bose speakers. And then I've got the little alcove for the separates. So when in about the year 2000, I think it was, around about that time, Bose speakers were the speakers to have. And they were bloody expensive. And I said to myself, if I ever have enough money, I'm getting Bose speakers, which I've managed to do a number of years ago. So I've kept them. And then there's the separates in there. So graphic equalizer, CD, sound unit, and then DVD player. That's the center speaker. That will be going up in the middle there at some stage. Then turntable underneath there. The sound's really good down here. The sound bounces off the walls so well. So I've got some posters in here. A View to a Kill. I do like that poster. And then I got Octopussy. And then the first film back in '89, I think it was, Batman. Went to see that with my wife, and that was our first night out together. And The Lost Boys, 2 films we never grow tired of watching. Got the trunk in from Amazon. Comes in 300 millimeters lengths, so you've got to join them, but I'm quite happy with that. It was just little ways of saving money, but it does the trick. Now I've got the Maxine license plate, and I've got this artwork from Pulp Fiction. I got that in a charity shop in Chelsea years ago, and I still kept it. But then Marty from Mad Marty's Movie Reviews sent me this, and it was perfect because I was looking for a From Dusk Till Dawn poster or metal plate to put above there. When he sent this to me, I was like, Marty, that is brilliant because it is perfect for what I want. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, check out Mad Marty's Movie Reviews. Got some excellent stuff there. And again, some more posters, The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue. And then we've got Prince of Darkness. And then before I go on to the movies and where they are, got some LED light battens there. These come in pairs. So I've got 2 pairs here. And then on the other side, I've got another 2. Got the plywood from B&Q. So I've insulated that with rock wool above it. I was going to plaster it, I'll be honest with you, put plasterboard up there and plaster it. But the problem is, because I've learned a couple of things since I've lived in this house, I need access to wires and pipes just in case there's an issue. So at this moment in time, it is just going to basically be left like that, which I'm happy with. I've absolutely no problems with that whatsoever. But yeah, so then here we go. So this is where the movies is. Now let me just pause this. So I've got 3 units down here. They're a good depth, and that is why I've been allowed to get all my physical media here. So all these were purchased from from Amazon, and I'll leave links in the descriptions. Now this unit here is at an angle now. It's at 90 degrees, sorry. You can move this in the middle. You can have it as a straight run. You can adjust the angle to whatever you want, but it literally fitted in here like a glove. It absolutely spot on. So this is unofficially Collector's Corner. And then big shout out to the main man, Ricky. I'm sure you know Ricky. One Night Movie Rental, which I really enjoyed. And also Serial, top drawer. Got this one from him, all signed by the cast and crew. Similar to that one. But yeah, shout out to my boy Ricky. And that's that corner there. Then we go on to the main run of movies. Now let me just step back here. And I'm just going to drop that. So now with this shelving that I've got, so this is 2 separate units. I'll give you the prices in a minute. I've now got all my physical media in one place. There's not as much of it as what I thought, and that is simply because I gave a lot away. And that's a vlog for another time. I actually realized I gave away so much to the charity shop, but that's a vlog for another time. So on the top here, I've got some little Lego blocks there, the figures, the blockheads as you call them. So yeah, I've got a few of them. I've got a bit more space to do a few more bits here. But yeah, I'm just looking at that with Hannibal's prison cell that I made ages ago. But I'm really happy with this fixturing. Take it back to the bottom. So these are metal frames with wood effect tops. Now again, because I don't want any wood touching the floor, it's got your metal down to the floor, and that is exactly what I wanted. It took me ages trying to find the right shelving for this project that I was doing. And then I've got all my Blu-rays 4K limited editions at the front, and then behind it is your standard Blu-rays, DVDs, and so forth like that. So I'm happy with how I've got it. I really am. Luckily, I keep looking around every so often, and I've had to put best part of 4 to 6 coats of paint on the walls just to make sure that they're okay. Now, I do check every month or so, and I've got no mold. And when you see the pictures, as I'm doing this, there will be pictures of what it was like before. But I'm very, very fortunate. There is no mold coming up anywhere around here. So I'm more than happy. How I've treated the room is been fine for now. So just got to keep an eye on it. But the whole atmosphere in the room, the smell, the feel of it has changed 100%. And you'll see that from the other bits that I've put in here as we've gone along. That wall there was the main problem. That wall there was the issue. It was just so difficult trying to get that right back to brick, put a special solution on it so the damp doesn't come through. But now this room smells absolutely fine. There's no damp smell in it at all. So that's the room, guys. And let me know your thoughts in the comment. I'm going to give you the budget soon about what I spent on everything. So stick around for that. But this is the room itself, and you'd be interested when it comes to the actual cost of everything, what I spent on it and some tricks that I got too. So let's move on to me telling you how much all this cost. Okay, guys, so that was the room. As he said, getting his iPad out just to have a little look at the pictures that I've got for the cost of everything as he goes through it. Right, there we go. Yes, so let's get down to this. So I hope you've liked the room. As I said earlier on, I'm more than happy with it. You know, it's not 100% finished yet, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. Don't get me wrong. But to give you some sort of idea, if I was to have this room tanked and then everything done properly, rerouted, all the pipe work, all the wires, put the system in to drain the water out and then pump it out to the street like some of my neighbours have done, would have been looking in somewhere in the region of probably about £20,000 now. And that is just too much money for movies. That is too much money. If I was sleeping down there, different story. But for a movie room, no, not sorry. I'm not in that league at all. So I had to stick within a budget. And for what I spent on it, I am more than happy with this. Honestly, I am absolutely more than happy with it. So a couple of things I learned. Loyalty cards are brilliant. And I never used to use them before, but I've been using B&Q's loyalty card. And literally, I have saved a lot of money on it, a lot of money. Every time I've gone in to buy something from paint to other bits and bobs, they give me a £3 voucher, a £5 voucher, an £8 voucher. And whilst that doesn't sound a lot, the other day I went in there and bought 2 vents for £8, and they sent me a voucher for £3 if I spend over £25. So I have been saving a lot of money. And the trick was, when I needed 2 cans of paint, I did 2 separate transactions. So I got the vouchers that I was saving up off of both, whereas you can only use 1 voucher per transaction. So the B&Q voucher was really, really good. The staff in there, I think they got to know me for some of the time. One of the guys said to me, he said to me, "Have you got more of those vouchers?" I went, "Yeah." He went, "Do it separate transaction and then use the vouchers." And I was like, "Do you know what? I wouldn't have thought of that." And so that's why I was doing that. So let's get down to the cost of it. So one thing I didn't show you was I've only got 2 sockets in this room. One of them's up here and one of them's over by the right-hand side. I had to buy an extension lead, which was a 10-meter cable, so it runs down and all along the back to where the stereo system is. Got that off Amazon. I'll leave links in the description and everything as much as I can do. That cost me 20, I'll round it up, £24. Each individual surge protection, I can turn things on and off, no problem there at all. That's what I needed for that corner there. So yeah, you didn't see that earlier on, but I'll leave a little picture up here. Then I brought new speaker wire, so I rewired all my speakers. That's quite good. It cost me $14.99. It's now gone up to $19.99 now. And I was happy with that speaker cable. It was really, really good quality. There were so many choices, but I thought, you know what, I just need something that's going to do what it's meant to do. Read the reviews about it and it's fine. The sound is so good coming out of it. So that was the speaker wire. Then I got the trunk in. I've got 2 different sizes. I got a 20mm and a 15mm. And combined, they cost £31.98. So that was a good price. So they were in 300 A4 lengths, but they were cheap. The ones from the other retailers, that one big great length, they were so expensive. And I was like, no, you know, I can deal with the joins in them. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. So that was quite a good saving there as well. Done that one there. Done the speaker wire. So the lights that you saw as a pair, they come to £38 each for 2 lights. So I've got 3 lots of them. More than happy with them. LED, they'll last for years and years. Literally, they'll last for 10 years. Won't have to buy a bulb or anything like that. The LED lights will literally go on for ages. It's totally changed the room. I've got it's just nice now. I don't think I've got a lot of shadows. When I do my unboxings, because I've done them as a square, the light just bounces down off all areas. So I'm quite happy with that. And then we've got the rock wall that you didn't see, that went in the ceiling. That was $59.99. So that helps with the insulation, keeps the place a bit warmer, but it also helps with the sound barrier. Don't have too much noise. If I'm not doing anything down here, you can hear some of the noise if the TV's on quite loud, but other than that, no, it's fine. It does the trick. I might add some more of that later on, but for the time being, I just had to keep a control over my budget. Then we've got the most expensive parts, which was the racking. So the one in the corner, that was £85.99, worth every penny. The fact that you can have it like that, or straight, it's up to you. It's so good, and it's really good quality as well. Nice and easy to build. To give you the Allen key, it's you can do it all by hand. You don't have to have an electric screwdriver. Does it all for you. Then the ones behind me, these two here, they were £143.98. So I think they were £73 each or something like that, £74 each. Really, really good quality. I might actually be buying a couple more units. That's why I'm going to be maybe getting rid of where the CDs are, where the vinyls are, and where the Lego is, and I might be getting 2 smaller versions of this because I really like them, and they will fit snugly into the corners. So I'm looking at that at the moment, but that was £143. Then we had things like paint. Had to use a base coat that deals with moisture, things like that, top coat as well, and then the actual paint itself. So I've used bathroom paint, and I've used a damp paint as well. So I've just made sure that that rear wall is it's got about 6 layers of paint on it. All in all, on the paint, I would have thought I've spent probably about £200. So probably about £200. So just roughly off my collections, we've got 200 for the paint, 150. So let's say 350 for that, 350, 420. So what I've spent down here, £650. Yeah, I think that's just roughly me just going by. Obviously, I didn't do my maths properly, but when I do the vlog, I'll add it up properly. But yeah, so it was £650. Oh no, plus the dehumidifier, 650, £730. I think that's roughly what I've spent down here. £730 on what I needed to get this basement going. I think that was pretty good. Everything like the outside window, that was part of the building work for the house, so that's no problem there. But yeah, so less than £800, I got this room dry, light, airy, and the damp has gone. Touch wood. Hope it stays gone. But I do keep regular checks on it. That dehumidifier, honestly, I couldn't believe how much water was coming out. It was just unbelievable what was coming out in this room. But I got there. It took a long time. If I could do something different again, I would have done it in the summer, not in the winter. That just, as I said, it took me nearly a month just to dry out that one wall. It was just taking so long. But I got there. I've made a few errors, like, you know, when it was drying out, I don't think it was 100% dry. So that's why I've had to repaint some of that back wall again. And I probably, in all fairness, maybe in the summer, I might take most of that paint off again and then just repaint it again, because having those vents in the window has just transformed this room. I can't stress enough for you how much it's transformed this room. When the guys first done the window, I knew it was wrong. They turned up on I think it was a Tuesday evening at 4 o'clock, and I was like, you can't start work now. He went, oh, it's only a small job. And I turned around to him and I said to him, look, mate, not being funny. I said, I'm not an expert in building. I used to do kitchens, and there's never a small job. The minute you say it's a small job, it becomes very complicated. They were still here at 8:30 at night. I had to tell them to stop drilling then. I said, just stop what you're doing now. Thanks for your help. Is it watertight? He went, yes. I went, right, just leave it now. Just leave it. But literally, they didn't do it. But one thing to the company, spoke to them, sent them emails. They got a new crew out. They changed the slant of the window. They put the vents in, but the vent wasn't good enough. I knew that was going to be a bit of an issue, so I took care of that myself. But before, there was no light, no natural light coming into this room, so it was always dark. It was perfect breeding ground for mold. But once that light went in there, once the window was done and the light was coming in, it transformed this room. So yeah, so that's it, guys. Look, let me know your comments below, what you think about it. I'm more than happy with it. I've bought a lot of posters, and then I realized that I don't have a lot of place to hang them. So the posters will stay on the floor, sort of thing. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay. I may be doing like, where I've got all the smaller posters, I might be putting some of them into groups. So I'm just playing around with a few ideas in my head at the moment, but I'm over the moon. I've got things that I can put on that beam, so that's going to be taken care of. And once I've done a bit more work and got the new cabinets in, I'll do a follow-up vlog. I'm going to be talking in more depth about why I chose these units, and that's going to be a vlog for another time. But anyway, guys, listen, that's it. Thank you for watching. Any questions, let me know. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you real soon on my next vlog.